Thierry Vachorde, this is a nice, simple little introduction to repairing one of those very common standing fans that you often find in large rooms. Let's see, I have some images. Yes, the one I have is Honeywell brand, but you'll find them under many different brands. This is the Black& Decker version. It honestly, these fans are all exactly the same. Whoops, I had intended to. There we are. They usually have a timer setting. They have oscillator settings, and they have power settings, and they come with a remote control. They're presumably all manufactured to the same specifications in the same factories in China. So, like I say, mine's Honeywell, but this is just a brand name that gets slapped onto these things, probably after they've been exported. So whether Black& Decker, whether Honeywell, whether Lasko or Drio or Lipity, God help us, they're all the same. Easy chill, for God's sake. All right. Now, after several years, our fan, which had great power to it, by the way, began to slow down, and then it began to stick. And that was not precisely what we wanted, obviously. So we were going to throw it out, and I said to myself, well, let's have a look. I like taking things apart and seeing can I repair them. Now, the one thing you're going to need if your fan is sticking or if it's got slow, and you could tell by the way that it was sticking, because sometimes it'd work, but when it wasn't working, you could still tell that the fan was trying to rotate. So clearly something was sticking in there, and 99% of the time this will be solvable with lubricant. Now, the lubricant I used, which seems to have worked a treat, is liquid wrench light machine oil. It's the sort of thing you use on a sewing machine. You can see I have an OpenAI window here, and you'll see why. This is just to remind you that while you can try to use WD-40 or thick grease or graphite powder, there are several reasons not to do this. WD-40 is a penetrant and a water repellent. It'll evaporate and everything will get sticky in there, and it's just going to gum the whole thing up. You might be able to find the right grease. I don't actually know a lot about grease for machines, but this might be overkill for a small electric motor. Graphite powder, a bad idea because it can cause short circuits. Silicone sprays, I think, behave a bit like WD-40. Keep those for your bicycle. So this is what I went for, light machine oil. Now it seems, according to the description of liquid wrench, it's ISO 22. I don't know if it says so there anywhere. But ISO 24 is a very light oil. Apparently approximating to an SAE level of 5 or 10. Liquid wrench don't care to tell us what the SAE will be, but anything with an SAE of 10 or 20 is perfectly adequate for the job. What else to show you? Yes, how to take the thing apart. Now, here's my fan for what it's worth. And this, I actually just took this picture. The fan is back working again, so you can understand that I got it working just through lubrication, but your mileage may vary. Now, I want to go to the start of this. This is where you should start. It's not where I started, and I found out the hard way. There's a screw at the back of the outer housing. There are 4 on the front, but take off, take this screw off first, and it's hidden. It's hidden behind this little black nubbin here, which you're going to have to prise out with a screwdriver or something. Hold on to it. It's made of rubber, and it'll stick right back in when you're finished the job. After you've done that, well, actually, you'll probably have to take off this entire cage thing first, and the 2 fans. This is just to remind me of the order that things went in. There's a little retainer in there, I guess you'd call it. Bear in mind, this screws clockwise to screw out. Remember, this is a fan, so the threads are opposite to what you'd expect. Still, so instead of righty tighty loosey lefty or whatever it is, do the opposite. Take that off, and then you'll be able to take everything else involved with the case, the cage, the case out as well. There we go. Yes, as you can see, I have the back end of the cage hanging on there, but it comes off very readily. There's a little black plastic retainer there that holds the back in. You can just unscrew that, and that is lefty-loosey. So that's easy. The only opposite screw is the retainer on the outside of the fan. What else to say here? Yes, after you've taken the housing off, that is to say the cage, you can then undo that screw. And let's see, you'll see that the front of the housing is still on here. Unscrew the 4 screws that attach that, and it's easy. They actually weren't very tight, and an ordinary small Phillips head screwdriver will do that for you. And once that's off, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have the motor. Now this looks pretty fiendish. Don't take anything else apart here unless you're a practiced motor user. And of course, you've plugged this thing out, haven't you? Because you now have exposed electrics here, and you will get a ferocious shock if you touch the wrong part. Now, you probably can see it here. This is the back of the spindle, or the shaft, the drive shaft, and this is where I got the most successful lubrication. I simply turned the fan so that the spindle was pointing straight down, and I put a few drops into the back of the spindle there, and I rotated the spindle. Now, you'll know that your fan is sticking if you find it hard to rotate that spindle by hand. It should rotate effortlessly, and when you give it a spin and let go, it should still keep spinning for another 3 or 4 rotations. That is to say, it should spin relatively freely. My spindle was not at all. It was badly stuck, and so you would find when you plugged it in that and turned it on, this spindle would try with might and main to rotate without success. So yes, a few drops of that light machine oil in there, spin so that the oil will penetrate down the shaft, and then I don't know if I have a good image of the other end of the shaft. I probably don't. No, I don't, alas. But I also put a few drops here where the spindle meets the housing, and I could see that there was a larger flat rotating bit inside the copper wire. What's it called again? The bundle of copper wire. It's the center of an electric motor, and I just put a few drops of the oil in there. I'm not sure if that was something I should have done or not, but in any case, I oiled in 3 points. I oiled here where the spindle meets the housing. I oiled back here where the spindle meets the housing at the other end, and I oiled very gently where the spindle has, I guess it's got a larger portion. It's hard to say, hard to describe this. The spindle gets wider. That's what I want to say, inside the housing. And in case it was catching on anything, although I don't think it was, I put a few drops in there. I would say the 2 points you really need to lubricate, and the points that I found made all the difference, were the entrance and exit points for the motor housing. Putting the thing back together again is quite easy. Attach the front of the housing first with the 4 screws, then attach the back. You might have some trouble getting that screw to find the hole on the housing that's supposed to go in, but trial and error. And I have a functioning. Here's the details for the motor, by the way. Not that it's much help. These small motors are 10 a penny. They come with any amount of model numbers, and I wasn't able to find much out about it here. But small electric motor, it's common. This, I presume, is the controller. I don't know. Perhaps it's a smaller motor again for the oscillator. Could be. I didn't really care to find out. I should have looked that up, but I didn't. There you are. And let's see. I think that's it. Yes, put it back together again, and hopefully all will work. Obviously, you take all necessary precautions. This is an electrical appliance, and it moves. Those blades can probably do you a little bit of damage at high speed, even though they're plastic. So hopefully that helps, and that's all I have to say.